Welcome to the Homestead. It is a beautiful day. I'm outside in the outdoor kitchen and we thought we'd give you a little tour. I'm getting ready to shortly be working out here a lot because it's just starting to get hot. It's going to be in the 80s today. So this is the time of year I'm excited. This is going to be the first full summer that I have the outdoor kitchen to work in. So I'm just going to take you around the kitchen. I'll give you a little tour and we'll show you what we have. The first thing is our gate. We actually have a fence with several gates around the kitchen. You may be wondering why we have gates. Well, the number one reason is the chickens. Got to keep the chickens out. They really like to poop on a flat surface, a flat concrete surface. I don't know why, they just see a flat concrete surface and they think it's theirs. So in order to keep the floor clean, we've decided that we needed a gate. And so we've got several gates around. When we're using it, they'll be wide open so that we can come and go and move around, and the chickens don't get in here when we're in here. Of course, we can shoo them out. All right, so we're gonna open the gates wide and you can come along in. Okay, so the first thing you'll see is our Berkey sitting here. This is the smaller Berkey that used to be in our house. If you've seen some of our other videos, you know that we recently got a bigger Berkey for the house. So we moved the little one out here so we can filter water out here to drink. Up here we have power. It's hooked up to a solar panel on the roof. And so here is the box to plug anything in. Currently my dad has his drill battery plugged into the charger, so that's plugged in out here. In the future, I'm thinking we'll use the power for things like our electric meat grinder, and we have that down here. Okay, so the next thing is just the big open stretch of counter. Like, that's a lot of counter space. And it's all stainless steel. We had it fabricated in order to fit the space. What I really wanted was a big, long, huge counter because when we're canning, there's a lot of prep. We also have guests in the fall, and we are going to use this for that. So there'll be a lot of people coming in and out, and to be able to work from both sides of the counter was really what I had requested. And then isn't it pretty? Like, you can just imagine working at the counter and it's all open and beautiful view, and I didn't want to cover that view up with any cabinets or shelves or anything like that. So we kept it really open. Down here you see these beautiful cabinets that my dad made from cedar that we harvested from our property. So this is all our own cedar that he planed and sanded and finished, and I just think that they're so pretty. And he let me choose the color, so I love like reds and greens together. That's probably my favorite color combination. Anyway, so we have the green cabinets against the cedar, the red cedar, which I just think is beautiful. I love that. Okay, so working around, these are the only upper cabinets we have, and then a shelf across just for some pots and pans. You can see that this has already been used over the fire. Some of these others, maybe I would sit on the side of the fire, but not directly on top of the fire. And if I want to, I can pull out the propane stove. If I just need to heat up something real quick, then I'll do that. But otherwise, I don't plan on using the propane out here too much because I plan on always having a fire going when I'm out here as much as possible. All of my jars ready to be used for canning this coming summer. I have a lot more jars inside I need to bring out here, but that'll get me started out here for a while. Our pitcher pump, that you might recognize this pitcher pump as the one that was inside our house. We replaced it with the new one and brought this one out here. Currently, we're getting water through that tank. So anytime I want water, I can get it at the sink, but it's coming from that tank. Because that tank is so full, the water would be running constantly. You can see that the height of the tank is equal to this pump. So basically the water pressure is enough because of that for the water to be running all the time. So my dad put in a valve under here. You can see the blue handle. You can see the pipe the pipe is going out to the back and getting water from that tank. So when I want water, when the tank is full, I'll turn this valve. I can't get it from that angle though. And there's the water coming. I don't even have to pump because the tank is full. The other thing that I really wanted to mention about cabinets, like, you know, most of us are just used to our indoor kitchens. Well, when you have an outdoor kitchen, the bugs, I mean, the bugs are always a problem. So anything that I keep out here on a long-term basis, I'm really trying to stock the kitchen so I don't have to be coming back and forth from inside to bring things out here. But what I have to remember is that anything, little stuff that I don't want to be washing every time I dig it out to use it, I'm keeping in closed bins. Like, it really keeps the bugs and the dust and the cobwebs and stuff off of your utensils. So most of the majority of my kitchen stuff I have in closed bins. Okay, so this is the evaporator, and we used this throughout the summer last year. This was one of the first things to go in to be able to use, and we canned a lot in this last year. If you look back at some of our old videos, you can see that we use this for water bath canning. There is a really nice tray under this cover that has grooves that you can can. You can put water in the grooves, and because of the fire that is going on in the firebox underneath, it brings the water to a boil. And that's what you want for water bath canning. You can't do quart jars, but pint jars work very well in this evaporator. That's just the right height for pint jars. All right, on top I have my pressure canner. This has seen a lot of use. This is going to be the 4th summer we'll be canning over the fire, pressure canning over the fire. This is the distiller we're keeping out here. We are using this over the fire also to be used for distilling water and making ethanol. This is a little box for extra water. When we open up the evaporator and we sit this on top, it has a little valve. You can flip it over and fill it. You can fill this with either the water or the sorghum that you're trying to evaporate, and as the water boils off or the sorghum boils off, open the valve, put more in, and it fills up the tray. This right here is my main fire pit that gets the most use. I use this a lot. I use it for my pressure canner. I use it for cooking, for boiling water. Most of the time, this is the fire that's going. So in previous years, you know, we've learned a lot as we've gone along, and some of the things that we've learned were like, duh, why didn't we think of that before? You know, we should have thought of that. One of those things is this sheet metal with a hole cut inside. Basically, when a pot is sat on top of this hole, it really saves you from a lot of the smoke coming at you. So I don't know why we didn't think about that before. But anyway, that's what that is for now. So if I lift this up, you can see the grate. I'll lift up the grate. And everything will lift up so that I can start my fire and not have to bend over too much and kind of shove my wood in. It's really easy to get a fire started in here when you lift up the grate. That's the easiest option. Okay, next to it, I have my pit for coals. Like if I want to use my Dutch oven, or if I want to put a Dutch oven on top of a tripod, I can put the tripod in there with the Dutch oven hanging from the top. If you're not familiar, this is a camp style Dutch oven. It's a really small one. It's got feet to keep your pot elevated off of the coals. And then it's got this lid, and the ridge of the lid holds coals in top. It's also got a handle, so I don't have a tripod out here right now, but everyone's seen pictures, I feel like, of a tripod standing and then a chain hanging, and so you can adjust your pot to the right length over your fire. So that's what that's for. And my nice little handy shovel. Like this is for shoveling my ashes, it's for pulling coals out of my main firebox to put in the box for the coals. I always got to have a good fire shovel. Over here is the sorghum juicer that we've used one time last year. At this point, I think we're going to figure out where else to put it. It's got to go because it's going to be in the way this year when we're doing canning this summer. And we're only using it once a year. We're using it for juicing our sorghum as we harvest the sorghum. So that'll be later in the fall. So we're going to get this out of the way. But that's what this is, that juices the sorghum. This is power. When we use it, we power it with a generator. So it draws a lot of power, so we're not able to power it with solar power. So you can see that we've got pipes going into the ground. This is the pipe that's come from the tank. It comes under the ground, and this is what provides water into the sink through the pitcher pump. This pipe is the drain. So I can put water down the sink. So this is the pipe that goes down, way down deep into the ground. So all of the sink water is draining out into the ground through this hole. Okay, so the final tip I'm going to give you is this little drink cooler. You may be familiar with these for cold drinks. I'm using this for hot water. So inside, you know that we always heat water over our propane stove or on our wood stove in the winter. So this year when I'm working out here, I plan on being able to heat all of my water on the fire that I'm going to have going. And this, believe it or not, you can put hot boiling water in here. So I'm going to put hot boiling water in here so that when I need it inside, I can just get it off the fire, take it inside for later. I'm going to put the lid on, and then if we want warm water, usually the boys want a little bit of warm water with their shower. Zach and I always take a cold shower in the summer. But the boys, they want it a little bit. They're not as tough, I guess. Anyway, so I'll just put some hot water in here whenever I have hot water going, and then it stays hot all day, and then I'll just have hot water when I want it inside later. So basically that's the tour. The last thing that you might notice is this chain. This is where we'll hang a lantern if we need to be out here when it's dark. But that'll probably use more in the fall. We really don't plan on being out here much past sundown in the heat of the summer. I mean, the summer is really, 9:30, it starts to get dark. So most of the work will be done by that time. But we ended up using the lanterns last fall when we were working out here. We've had a lot of requests for the tour of our outdoor off-grid kitchen, and I hope you enjoyed me showing you around, and I hope you enjoyed what you've seen. We're really excited about using it this summer. Thank you so much to our patrons. They make what we do possible. For more information, you can check out all the benefits at patreon.com/AnAmericanHomestead. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, please check us out on Facebook. If you're interested in more of our videos, check them out on the left, and we'll see you next time on An American Homestead.